Last Dinner Party. There's a lot riding on their second album now, I think, isn't it? After all the plaudits which were rained down on their debut record. That's the opening clue as to what album 2 might sound like. Last Dinner Party, and this is the Killer speaking. Here's someone who's been through a similar kind of pressure in a way. Tim Wheeler, hello.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
What were you feeling like after releasing 1977, which is, the proper debut record, which went to number one? Did you feel like you were under any pressure when you started making the follow-up? Was there a hurry to make the record, and then how were you feeling?
Yeah, that was big pressure. I guess we had the album, it was number one, then we toured it for a year and a half, and then it was kind of like, okay, where's the next one? And we're like, we hadn't written anything in all that time. It was just so full on that we didn't get to write much. So so it was just all of a sudden we're expected to deliver it, and it's really hard, just quite a hard position to be in, because if your first album, really kicks off, you're going to be like working non-stop. I don't know. I guess some people like stockpile a lot of songs, but we used everything, all our best stuff. And it was tricky. There's a
lesson for new bands. I mean, it's one of the things I always say, is just keep writing songs, because you never know when it might, take off for you. Yeah. And then you'll probably need those songs, don't you?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it kind of depends how long you've been gestating for, I guess. But it's tricky writing on the road, as you'll find. Bands will find, I guess. But But here, we're still here 30 years later.
Well, I mean, and being quite busy. I was going to say, so where are you? Where are you today? Where are we talking to you?
I'm in London. I've got a studio in Finsbury Park, North London. So that's where I am.
And tell us about your year. How have things panned out? Because I think it's worth making the point, particularly during a time when a lot of bands, probably your peers and groups who were around either 20 years ago or 30 years ago, are all now suddenly back on the road. You never really stopped, did you? You took a bit of time off, but never really stopped.
Yeah, I'm proud. I think we're part of like a select few kind of groups from that time who didn't do the sort of split up thing and reform 10 years later. You can see the big perks of doing it, but we've always just stuck at it. I'm always very happy if we're on like a festival bill with like Charlatans or Manic Street Preachers. There's a few of us have never called it quits, even for a hiatus or anything. So, yeah.
But even few, it has been busier recently, hasn't it? Well, tell us about your year, because you did some dates for The Darkness, didn't you, earlier on in the year?
Yeah, we had a great month around the UK in March with them. So that was a lot of fun. That was really, jam-packed venues and really great shows.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you feel like you could really let yourselves go? Because a night out with The Darkness, it's going to be a certain amount of pomp. No one's going to feel restricted in being able to rock out on a night with The Darkness.
It's true. Yeah, we sort of resisted the urge to get the spandex out or the fireworks. But we had quite short sets. We were like 40 minutes, and that sort of just ends up being like 40 minutes of hit singles. So we just banged it out every night, and we just we had to leave out some big songs even, and it was really good. The crowd worked. We fit with a rock band as well as indie stuff. So they were great, and they were in great form as well.
And more recently, you did Glastonbury the other week. Don't you now hold or joint hold a Glastonbury record?
I think so, yeah. I think we're up there with Van Morrison for like the most Glastonbury appearances. And I think, I can't remember, it's like 7 or 8. There's one year we did it twice. So that sort of helped notch us up a bit. But we hadn't been there for 15 years, so it felt really good to be back, and just good reminder of that utopia vibe that they have there.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that long. Yeah. But there was obviously Supergrass played. Yeah. Our producer Phil kept wandering off at times, and would come back and go, "I've just seen Shed 7, they were brilliant." And then he went off to see you. I've just seen Ash, they were brilliant. But again, do you find, particularly going to play a festival like that, you got nothing to prove now, have you? I don't know if you ever were, nervous walking onto a big stage or conscious of how important certain appearances were, but you don't have to worry about it so much, do you?
I suppose it's different. I remember all those like early Reading festivals we did, or even our first Glastonbury's. You did have a lot to prove actually back then. Yeah, no, it's definitely different because we've headlined the Pyramid stage and all of these, big shows. So, sort of popping up then on the Avalon stage sort of mid-afternoon is it's definitely chill in a way. But, the excitement does get to you. I feel like I think Mark was pretty nervous before that, and he never gets nervous. So it does still kick in a bit.
Yeah. You've got a new album coming out this October, your 9th album, coming off the back of the most successful album of yours in 20 years, Race the Night, which must, I guess, did that fill you with sort of renewed confidence? And, you went back into the studio with a spring in your step? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the shortest gap between two albums for us since maybe our first two albums. Yeah, so, it's kind of... this one kind of just came together quite quickly, and it's nice. It's only 2 years ago, and it was brilliant having all that injection of new songs to tour, and I'm looking forward to getting even more. It's quite a kind of rock record, so it worked really well live, and this is along the same kind of line.
I was going to say, is it a continuation of where the last one left off?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like we sort of had a kind of a sort of left fieldy synthy bunch of tracks that we were kind of shaping to be the next album, but then we sort of realized that it had gone down so well that let's just keep going, and we had a lot of good rock ideas kicking around. So, and it feels like it's been bubbling back up. The rock scene is so good at the minute. So just a nice lean into what we do.
Is it? I've read this song. Is it true Graham Coxon's on the record?
Yeah, he's on 2 tracks.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah,
well, hang on a second. I've not got enough guitar on this record. How did that come about then? How did
it was great. Yeah, well, we kept bumping into each other quite a lot. I went to one of the first Wave shows a couple of years ago, and then since then, there's been a birthday party, a funeral, just keep bumping into him in a way where it was just, I felt like the universe was saying, you got to just ask Graham to be on a track. And, I bumped into him a lot over the years, and he's always said he's a big Ash fan. And I thought, okay, let's test this out and find out if he really is.
Is he really?
We had a brilliant day. He came down and we did. He's on 2 tracks, and we kind of bashed it all out quite quickly. And in the middle of it, my son had to go in A&E actually, so we had to finish the last backing vocals in the last 10 minutes and run off. But it's brilliant. His guitar is, there's no one approaches guitar playing like Graham, and his voice is so special as well. He's singing and playing guitar on 2 tracks. We actually have a guitar duel on one of them too as well.
Do you?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. We've both got very different approaches to guitar soloing, and it's pretty fun.
We're just about to play the new single from the album for the first time on radio. It doesn't take a genius, I suspect, to work out that this probably relates back to the pandemic. It's called Give Me Back My World. Are we right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wrote it exactly just at the beginning of the pandemic. I had a pretty mad pandemic. I got stuck. We were touring Europe, and I got stuck in Europe for 4 months. I was living in New York at the time, and I was away from my girlfriend my whole life, and never knew when things were going to start again. So it was kind of right at the beginning of that, and it just I sort of felt quite raw. So just had it on the shelf for quite a while, and then I almost finished it for the last album, and then one day I played it to our manager, and he was like, "You idiot! This is a total banger." And so here it is, the comeback single for the new album.
You idiot! I love the fact your manager's been with you about 30-something years.
Yeah,
and can still turn around and say, "You're an idiot."
Well, yeah. Well, he said you always do this, and it's kind of true. I always will overlook one of our best songs. I don't know. I'm not the best judge of what my best stuff is.
Well, listen, Tim, it's been lovely talking to you. Ash, you've got I think about 3 outdoor gigs in August, 2 shows at London Scala in September, and then you're off on tour again in November. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So some great stuff ahead this year.
You can hear the new songs on tour. The album is coming in October. This is the single from it, which is out today. This is Give Me Back My World.